So it is May 29th, which means it is officially the first day of summer break. And where have I been? That's probably what you guys are wondering. Haven't filmed in a while, been busy. If you are new to the channel, let me give you some kind of background. Bryce, Dettorre, father. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a special education teacher, and I'm a fitness enthusiast. I love working out, I love doing Spartan races. My motto is very simple, it's don't be average, which has stemmed now into not your average husband, not your average dad, not your average teacher, and not your average person, basically. Leveling up, that's really what this channel is all about. So, speaking of leveling up, like I said, I am officially on summer break, which means I get the next 8 weeks off. I'm hopefully going to be putting out a little bit more content, like I said, since I am on summer break. But I started this morning off, this whole summer break off with I actually had to go take another test, and this test was actually the C-PACE, and it was geared towards me getting my admin credential. So let me kind of rewind, because like I said, I've been busy for these past couple weeks, and that's why I really haven't been filming. It's because I've been studying for this test, the first part of the test, which I took today. I take the second part of the test on Monday, which I'm not excited about. But anyways, the reason why I'm taking the C-PACE is what it's called, is so that I could get my admin credential. The reason why I need to get my admin credential is because I have been teaching for 5 years, but I actually recently got offered, I interviewed for the position, and I got offered the assistant principal position at a middle school right down the street from my house. So, very excited. However, it is contingent on whether or not I pass this test. I don't find out if I pass this test until June 25th, so basically like 5 weeks from now I'll find out. If I pass the test, then they want me to start July 14th. If I don't pass the test, then I have to be into an intern eligible program, which means basically I have to go back to school. All the programs that I looked into, they don't really start until July 1st, so I'm kind of still figuring that out, so don't really want to go back, if I'm being honest. So I'm hoping that I could just pass this test. That's kind of where I'm at. So some things that have been weighing on my mind and some pros and cons of this position. One, it's a huge honor to be obviously offered the admin position. I've been teaching for 5 years, which is the requirement you need in order to become an admin. And I would have never thought I wanted to be an admin just because I see the schedule of the admin. And if you guys have been watching my channel, then you know obviously my main roles in life are, like I said, I'm a husband and I'm a father. Those come first and foremost over a teacher, or in this situation, an admin. So when I got asked to interview for the position, the first thing I asked is, what's my schedule going to look like? Schedule is a little bit more intense, not too much more intense, to the point where I probably will still have a lot of time with my daughter, obviously. But the big schedule difference is I go from having 8 weeks off in summer to only having 3 weeks off in summer. So if you're talking about days, that's basically 25 days more a year that I work. So I'm very religious. I consider myself a religious person, faithful person. So I've been praying on it like crazy, asking for signs of like, is this the path that I need to take? Is this the jump I take? By going to that school, I would be switching schools, I'd be switching districts, I would be giving up security, I would be giving up time, comfort, obviously. Anytime you switch jobs, you're not as comfortable. It's a whole new area. It's not teaching, it's like management. So I'd have to learn the ins and outs of that. But I would be working for a principal who I have a lot of respect for. I worked with her a little bit at my current school, and when she was leaving, she actually asked, hey, would you come over and work with me? I thought it was for a teacher. I was like, I don't really want to teach middle school, and she's like, no, I was hoping you'd be my assistant principal. Huge compliment, because like I never even would have thought of that. But that leads me to the point in this video, is sometimes someone will need to see something in you before you would even see it. So she saw admin potential in me, and I would have never even thought about it. And now, since she planted that seed, I have been really, really like contemplating it, thinking about it, praying about it, talking to people about it. But I'm kind of just leaving it up in God's hands right now, because like it comes down to whether I pass this test or not. So that's a major life update. Obviously, I will keep you guys posted on that. As for where I'm at with fitness and everything right now, I'm down to about 204, 11.6% body fat. That's what I weighed in last Saturday. I'll weigh in again on Saturday to see if I dropped any body fat. That's my main focus right now. I'm weighing myself every day, but I'm not really focusing on the scale, because I've noticed that the scale's actually going up, but my body fat's going down, which is like key. That's what you want. You just want to increase muscle, decrease body fat. So that's been working out. I like the way I look physically. I'm still probably going to be in a deficit probably for about a week, and then I might do reverse dieting and kind of document that. I've been increasing my mileage, been focusing on my speed. I've been doing sprints once a week, tempo runs once a week, and then even intervals once a week. I want to get fast. That's what I learned from my last DECA Fit, is I'm not fast and I can't perform at a high or max effort for a very long time. And I think it's just because I didn't do a lot of interval speed work, sprints, any of that. So I've been incorporating that. I've been liking that. Currently on a 6-day or 7-day split, really. So my 7th day is just an active recovery day. So it's like I'll go for an easy run or walk or something, so it's not really too intense. My goal for the month of June, before I go on vacation up to Mammoth, just get better at running. And then, like I said, get as lean as I possibly can before I go on this break. I did Murph last week, and I learned something about Murph, and I wanted to ask you guys this. Okay, so, and I read it in a book, like I think last week or 2 weeks ago, and something I've been instilling in my daughter, that I was like, I want to teach this to my daughter. And it's funny how the world works, because I said I want to start teaching her this, and then it literally hit me. So the question that you ask yourself is, would you be happy if you competed in, say, the mile, and out of everybody there you got first place, but you didn't PR, like you actually ran a slow time compared to what you usually run? Would you be happy that you won the race, or would you be disappointed that you didn't run your best race? And you also have to ask yourself, would you be happy if, say, you won a race, you got first place, which means you beat everybody there? Or I'm sorry, would you be happy if you ran a race and you didn't win, so you didn't get first place, but you ran your PR? So say if your fastest time was like 5 minutes in the mile and you got third place, but you ran a 4:45, would you be happy? And that happened last week when I did Murph. My goal to beat was 49:49. That's what I ran it 2 years ago. So I ran it. I got first place. But I ran 50:49. So if I'm being honest, like, it was cool that I won, but I was not happy that I didn't get, 48:49, or I didn't beat my time, because that, in my eyes, I didn't put forth my best effort. So that happened, and it made me think, like, I think I'd rather be that. I'd rather get second or third, but I ran my best race, like I PR'd. And then there was another thing that I read, and it was saying that success is when, I'm going to screw this quote up. It's in a book that's literally right next to me in my truck. But the quote says, success is when you compare yourself to other people and you win, and excellence is when you compare yourself to how you were like yesterday and you win. And that's something that I need to work on, and honestly something that I'm going to be forced to work on, because I'm going to try and instill it in my daughter, is I'd rather be excellent than successful. I'd rather be like better than I was yesterday, constantly improving, as opposed to my happiness or my success is measured based on how I'm doing around compared to people around me. So just some things that have been kind of going through my head lately as I'm like contemplating decisions in my life, partaking in fitness stuff. So anyways, hopefully going to get back onto the content. I'm heading home right now. Like I said, I just took that test. I went to this epic donut place down in Redlands today. It was called Dough, Deaux, but the X is silent. I actually videotaped it, so I'm going to probably put up the clip so you can see what these donuts look like, because there's no evidence. I ate all of them. They're phenomenal. There's 4 of them. So I'll probably dub that in right now. All right, so I got some crazy donuts from Dough, the X is silent, they say, in Redlands. This, oh my goodness. Okay, so I got 4 donuts, and check out these bad boys. First of all, I got this thing. So look at this. First of all, this has some weight to it. Inside this is apparently an omelet. Oh my goodness, Dough. What are you doing with your life? Look at this. Has some sauce. Don't know what sauce this is. Kind of looks like maybe chipotle sauce. Maybe some chipotle. Let's try this bad boy out. Oh, Joe, you are onto something with this bad boy. I mean, this is like ideal for me. Ooh, it's kind of spicy. Got a little kick to it. This is ideal for me because it's like sweet and salty. The best of both worlds in a donut. Has some bacon in there too. Oh my goodness. All right, then we got this bad boy. Look at the size of these things. So apparently there's some jam, a hidden jam inside here. It's a different tasting jam. They don't mess around with filling these. They're like not like the knockoff jelly-filled donuts where it's like you see the hole, but then at the back end there's like a little jelly. Look at this sucker. This sucker is packed to the brim with some jam. It even has leaves on top. I don't know what those are, but they're good. Maybe jam leaves? Does jam come from leaves? I don't know. Possibly. And then this one. Oh, you know I love chocolate. Look at that. So much goodness. Epic fail. Didn't grab napkins. This is like a fancy chocolate, so nothing really in it. But I just feel fancy eating this chocolate. This isn't typical chocolate. Their dough is really good. Look how thick it is. Yeah, this one's good. Yeah, that's not cheap chocolate. That's the good stuff. And then this one, believe it's like a carrot cinnamon bad boy. I love cinnamon. Oh, no. Pumpkin. No. Oh, I don't know. It's like very cinnamony. Almost like a... I'm getting cinnamon roll churro vibes from this bad boy. Look at that, though. These are not your average donuts at all. Dough, I don't know what you're doing, but I like the X being silent. So, if you guys are in Redlands, cool little spot. They had a couple more donuts. Yeah, these are good. I've never had a donut like this. If I had to say, they're not cheap donuts, price-wise, but taste-wise, they don't taste cheap. Like, I feel like I should be eating these in a soup. At like a cocktail party. I love this donut omelet. That's genius. That was a great invention, dough. I do wish I had a microwave in my truck, because to heat this up just a little bit. It still tastes fresh. And what's smart they did, the donut's not sweet. Because I know some people are like, oh, that'd be too sweet because there's so much sugar, and it's like, you don't know what you're talking about, so shut your mouth. But this bad boy, it's literally just the texture of a donut with an amazing omelet. A lot of eggs too, packed inside. I mean, look at this. Then you dip it in that chipotle sauce, give it a little kick. I don't really like hot. The only thing hot that I can handle is my wife. Other than that, pretty much ketchup is too hot for your boy. I like this dough. Definitely recommend Dough Donuts. They know what they're doing. Ain't they, though? Are they even give you this fancy box? Not a typical pink box. The box is even made in Redlands. That's how you know it's fancy. Anyways, now that you guys saw what the donuts looked like, I ate those. That was my pre-workout fuel. So I'm gonna go home. It's about 12 o'clock. Adeline and Cassie, I think, are gonna be running some errands, so I'm gonna get a workout in, and then I will catch up with you guys after the workout. All right, so today's workout was a conditioning piece. I have 2 of these workouts a week. These workouts also land on the same day I do my speed work. So it will either be like interval running, threshold running, or tempo running. So the way it will work is I'll break them up into 2 different sessions. So the cardio or the running might be done in the morning, and then the conditioning might be done in the afternoon, or vice versa, whatever I'm feeling. And when it comes to the conditioning piece, the way I always break it up is I have to have some form of running, and then I'll do like a skier, I'll do a rower, I'll do an echo bike, and then I'll probably incorporate some type of like either movement from high rocks, deca, or maybe just even some Olympic lifting, just to kind of break it up. So today's workout, it was a 400-meter run. As soon as you finish that, you're going to jump into a 250-meter skier, go straight into a 250-meter row, and then you go into alternating dumbbell snatches. I want to say I did 40s on these, and then you do basically 10 each hand, so it's a total of 20 reps. You definitely will start feeling it in your core, and that's when I got the most winded. And then once you're done with the alternating dumbbell snatches, then you finish with 30 dumbbells. And you repeat this for 4 rounds. So the way I do these sessions, I always want to keep it, if I'm looking at a scale, like 1 to 4, 1 being very easy, 2 being a little bit more difficult, 3 kind of difficult. I kind of want to go anywhere from 3 to 4. So if you're looking at zones, I'm probably going to be in zone 4. You may start in zone 2, somewhere where you're very comfortable, but you do want to push it. And the reason why is because I just like to kind of stimulate what it's going to feel like on race day. I think you've definitely got to get comfortable being in a sucky situation, and that's something I need to work on is when I start getting uncomfortable in these races, I feel like I have to dial it back to zone 2, when in all reality, you probably surprise yourself of how long you can maintain a zone 4. So give this workout a try. Again, it's 4 rounds. Just pick a good speed and try to maintain that for the duration, and then put your time in the comments below. There is something to be said about having faith that everything's going to work out. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think that what is ever meant to happen is going to happen. So like right now, I was just studying for my test on Monday. And this one's going to be probably harder than actually the one today. 20% of people actually pass this test that I'm going to take. So it is 2 modules. The first module has to do with basically like reviewing a teacher. You watch a 15-minute clip, and then there's like 8 different data points or something that you analyze, and then you basically give your leadership advice on how this teacher can improve in instruction. Are they assessing the students properly? And I believe it has to be like 1,000 words. So that's one module. The second module is kind of the same concept, but this has to deal with an actual school that needs to be improved. So my job as the principal would be to basically analyze the data, see where there is holes that need to be filled, and then implement a plan that I feel would help change or fix the school. So been basically just studying for that. It's crazy though, because I feel like all the leadership books I've read so far, they have prepared me for this test. Like I said, we'll see how I actually do on the test. I'll take the test on Monday. And like I said, I don't get my results back until June 25th. But I think there's a direct correlation between people who are successful and having faith. And that's kind of, where I'm at right now is whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. There is a plan that's put in place. And if it's meant to be that I'm a principal, then it's meant to be. If not, then I'll go back to my school. I got a good position. I got my own class. I love teaching special education, and that's what I'm technically going to do next year. So we shall see. So my goal for the next couple of days is just study, get prepared for the test, take the test, and then as soon as Monday comes around after the test, that is when I will start enjoying my summer break. Like I said, my goal for this summer break, spend a lot of time with my wife, spend a lot of time with my daughter. I want to get back to incorporating date nights once a week with me and Cassie, and I think it'll be very easy to implement that now that my schedule is completely open. She only has to work Wednesday and Friday, so we're going to implement date night once a week. I will be able to have full one-on-one daddy-daughter time every Wednesday and Friday while she's at work, so I'm excited for that. Excited to be strict with my nutrition, my fitness. And like I said, just improving my speed work right now. So, and hopefully get out more content for you guys. So if you guys have anything that you guys would like to see, like a day in the life, full day of eating, if you guys want more training videos, if you guys want me to talk more mindset videos, just comment below whatever you guys want to see. I will get those out. And then you guys already know the motto: stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I will catch you guys in the next one.